probably watching this on your phone or computer, right? Devices you thought you owned outright. But here's the truth. You might not have as much control over them as you believe. Over time, your ability to repair, modify, or even decide how to use your gadgets has been quietly eroded. When something breaks, fixing it yourself isn't as straightforward as it once was. Manufacturers have built barriers, locking down spare parts, restricting software access, and turning repairs into a complex puzzle. Whether it's your phone, your car, or even your TV, you're often left with only partial ownership, while the real control remains with the companies. So what's happening here? Let's dive into the hidden world of ownership and the fight to reclaim it, brought to you by Boardroom Secrets. This growing frustration has fueled a movement called Right to Repair. It's a call to action to restore true ownership to consumers like you and me. But behind it lies a deeper issue. Modern technology and software are increasingly designed to limit your freedom. It's not just about whether you can fix your device, it's about who truly owns what you paid for. Back in 1985, Nintendo introduced a chip called the Checking Integrated Circuit for its NES gaming console. This chip controlled which game cartridges could run, allowing only Nintendo-approved titles. Companies like Atari Games faced lawsuits for releasing unapproved games. At the time, it seemed like a small move, but it was a pivotal step toward manufacturers controlling products even after they're sold. Fast forward to today, and this control has spread far beyond gaming. Take Gran Turismo Sport, for example. Without an internet connection, you're stuck in arcade mode. Features like driving tests, buying cars, or even saving your progress require you to be online via the PlayStation Network. If the publisher shuts down the servers, your game, bought with your hard-earned money, becomes nearly useless. You don't fully own it anymore. This issue extends beyond gaming. Even hardware that seems independent, like Spotify's car thing, relies heavily on the manufacturer. When Spotify discontinued support due to low sales, users were left with a useless device. Imagine buying a $100 gadget only to find it's a paperweight because the company pulled the plug. And repairs? They're getting harder too. Manufacturers claim modern tech is too complex for DIY fixes, but it's not just about hardware complexity. Software is programmed to block your access to repair functions. These barriers aren't accidental. They're deliberate, designed to keep you tethered to the company's ecosystem. The Right to Repair movement is pushing back. It's a unified voice from consumers, technicians, activists, and even lawmakers, demanding a return to the days when devices were built to last and be easily fixed. Remember when a manual and a spare part were all you needed to get your device running like new? That's the vision. A leading voice in this fight, a veteran technician and YouTuber, argues that Right to Repair isn't about outdated tech or nostalgia. It's about removing intentional obstacles that prevent you from fixing your own stuff. Not everyone wants to haul their device to an authorized repair center or buy a new one just because a small part fails. Yet companies insist that modern devices require specialized skills only their trained technicians possess. More and more consumers are realizing they're losing control over their own property, and they're not staying silent. For decades, companies have cut production costs to maximize profits, creating products that break faster, are harder to fix, and are easily replaced. A 2021 survey found that nearly half of people would rather buy a new device than repair a broken one, contributing to a growing pile of e-waste. So what tactics are manufacturers using to make repairs so difficult? And how far will this control go if we don't push back? Can consumers reclaim true ownership of the devices they've paid for? About a decade ago, replacing a phone's broken part was as simple as a trip to the local electronics shop. Today, companies like Apple use parts pairing, a software-based lock that ties components to the original device. Swap out a part, even from another identical device, and features like the camera, display, or Face ID may stop working. By 2023, with the iPhone 15, Apple took this further. Even swapping parts from another iPhone 15 Pro Max could disable features like auto brightness or true tone. Other companies follow suit. HP blocks non-official ink cartridges with error messages. GE refrigerators reject third-party water filters. Even Keurig restricts users to their proprietary coffee pods. These aren't just quirks. They're part of a strategy to control a product's entire life cycle. Take Apple's 2009 MacBook Pro, which introduced pentalobe screws, special fasteners requiring proprietary tools to remove. By 2016, soldered SSDs in MacBooks made data recovery or replacement nearly impossible. A 2022 repairability report gave Samsung and Google phones low scores, while Lenovo, Microsoft, and HP laptops barely passed. John Deere, a leader in agricultural equipment, locks down tractors with software that requires authorized dealers for repairs, costing farmers $170 per hour plus travel fees. For remote farmers, a broken tractor can mean a lost harvest. Some have turned to underground markets, buying hacked software from Ukrainian developers to regain control of their own equipment. This control isn't just about repairs, it's about profit. In 2019, Apple's CEO admitted that cheaper battery replacements led to lower iPhone sales as people kept older devices longer. Nearly 2/3 of Apple's revenue comes from new iPhone sales. A $200 dishwasher might have replacement parts costing almost as much as a new unit, pushing you to buy rather than fix. Software is just as tightly controlled. Updates often remove features or force you to adapt to unwanted changes. Companies are shifting to subscription models where you pay ongoing fees, agree to their terms, and lose control over the product. BMW once considered charging for seat heaters already built into their cars. Adobe faced lawsuits from the U.S. Department of Justice and FTC for opaque cancellation fees and complex processes, violating consumer protection laws. They've also been criticized for using user files to train AI, essentially turning customers into unpaid data suppliers. The right to repair movement is challenging these practices. In October 2023, California passed a law requiring manufacturers to provide tools for DIY repairs. Over 10 other U.S. states are considering similar bills. In Europe, the EU forced Apple to switch from proprietary Lightning ports to USB-C by 2024, prioritizing consumer rights. Apple, under pressure, launched a self-repair program in 2022, but it's been called performative, requiring costly tools and complex processes. By April 2024, they allowed used genuine parts for repairs, but the process remains cumbersome, with long wait times for parts and excessive data collection. Despite these hurdles, progress is visible. Devices like the LG G5, Dell XPS laptops, and Microsoft's Surface Laptop 3 show that repair-friendly design is possible. Framework laptops take it further, with every component replaceable using a single screwdriver and clear instructions printed inside the device. These examples prove that durable, repairable tech isn't a pipe dream, it's achievable. Why does right to repair matter to everyone? Consider someone waiting 63 days to replace a battery in a medical wheelchair, their life disrupted by reliance on a company's repair monopoly. This movement isn't just about saving money, it's about reducing e-waste and empowering people. By sharing stories of successful DIY repairs, we can inspire others to take control. It's not just a technical or legal fight. It's about your fundamental right to own what you buy. It paves the way for a society that's self-reliant, sustainable, and fair. The road ahead is long, but the vision of a future where you truly own your devices is clearer than ever. Stay tuned with Boardroom Secrets for more insights into the forces shaping your world.